Hello, my name is Elevine Blake and welcome to my macro lesson. Let's begin. As we previously discussed, nouns can be singular or plural. Today's lesson is all about how verbs can also be singular or plural. However, verbs have the added duty of having to agree with the nouns or pronouns in a sentence. In other words, the verb form must be a match set to the subject. They must become twins according to the situation. In this way, verbs are also identified as singular or plural. Now, let's define what a singular verb is. Can anybody tell me what a verb is first? We covered this, so let's see if you remember. That's right. A verb is pretty much an action word. And so that's a regular verb. Great answer. Thank you very much. So as you can guess, a singular verb is going to agree with a singular subject or pronoun. And can anybody remind me of what a singular subject is? Yes? A singular subject is made up of a noun or pronoun that represents one person, one place, one thing, or one idea. Single. Now for the tricky part, the point of view. Every subject and verb is presented from a particular point of view. Our basic sentences are usually written from the point of view of the speaker, meaning me. In other words, the sentence is written in the first person point of view. Can anyone give me a sentence from the first person point of view? That's right. Simply, I eat ice cream. I watch TV. I go to dances. I like to play. Singular from the first person point of view. Now, does anyone know what the other points of view are? Maybe, maybe not. Any? Okay, all right. Yes, when a sentence is stated directly to the receiver, it becomes a second person point of view. And you know the drill. Any examples? Right. You eat ice cream is a perfect example. While each point of view has its own noun and verb forms, in English, most of the time, singular verbs will look just like plural verbs. And I know that can be confusing, but we'll get to it in more detail later. Okay, so let's go to a plural pronoun sentence, right? That's we, more than one, right? We. So a plural sentence would be, we eat ice cream. And that's using the same, right, the same as before. And the tricky part now, where we will change the form of the verb by adding an S, is usually in the third person. And the third person, can anybody guess what a third person point of view is? Right. That's the exception, and the third person is when, that's a good example. John eats ice cream. John is the third person. And the speaker is speaking about John. He's not speaking to John, but about John. And that's the distinction. John eats ice cream is a perfect example. John eats ice cream. That's correct. John eats ice cream is a perfect example. Now let's look at some sentences and let's see if we can figure out how to do this whole subject-verb agreement thing. What if I said, Samantha run to the park every day? Would that be a correct sentence? Why or why not? First, let's identify the verb. That's right. Run is the verb. Who is the subject? It's Samantha. And so what can we guess about the point of view in this case? Second. Right, because we're Samantha. No, we're talking about Samantha. That's right. Third person point of view. So Samantha, remember that's the exception. That's when we change the form of the verb by adding the S. Samantha runs to the park every day, not run. This is when that's right. Let's try another example. The dogs bark at strangers. The dogs, plural, bark at strangers. What's the subject? The dogs. So the verb is bark. Is this sentence correct or not? Right. The dogs bark at strangers. Right. It's the third person point of view. We're talking about the dogs. But this is a third person plural. So bark corresponds with dogs. That's right. You're getting the hang of this. Now let's go through some more sentences.